Good morning, students. So today we are going to start with second portion of our seventh unit, P block elements, and today we are going to discuss about ammonia and oxides of nitrogen. Okay. So now first of all, how ammonia can be prepared. Okay. So when we are talking about ammonia, then ammonia is present in small quantities in air also, in soil also. And how it is formed there? Because of the decay of nitrogenous organic matter. Okay, there are so many substances present in soil which contain nitrogen. Okay, just like urea is there, it undergoes decay. Okay, and then it produces ammonia. Just like here you can see, this is urea, NH2CO, NH2 is urea. When it combines with water, it forms ammonium carbonate. Okay, this ammonium carbonate decomposes to form ammonia and carbon dioxide gas. So ammonia comes there in the air in the form of vapors, or it is present in soil. Okay. Now, if you have to prepare a very small quantity of ammonia, then such method is called laboratory method. Okay, so for obtaining ammonia in small amount, we have to take ammonium salts which will decompose by some base. Okay, now see here it is lab method, and how we have prepared. Ammonium chloride is treated with calcium hydroxide, and this gives the ammonia. Now ammonia, whenever it is formed, it is in the form of vapors. So if it is condensed, then it comes in the form of liquid, but in this case when it is formed, it is in the form of vapors, and those vapors are lighter than air, so they move up in the air and they are collected upward. Okay, so this is lab method of preparation of ammonia. Now in case we want to prepare on a large scale, we have to prepare too much, then industrial method, or we say commercial method, is used, and the most important method used for this is Haber's process. What is the process? Nitrogen and hydrogen, they are taken in the ratio 1:3, and then they form ammonia. Okay, now see, this is the flow diagram of how ammonia is manufactured in Haber's process. Okay, now see, in the beginning we take both the gases in a particular ratio which is required. It is 1:3. So nitrogen and hydrogen are fed in the compressor where they are compressed, and after compression they are made to react in the presence of catalyst. Catalyst is oxide of potassium or aluminium. Okay, because of this compression and this catalyst presence, there is formation of ammonia, but whole of ammonia does not but whole of the nitrogen and hydrogen do not change to ammonia, some of it changes to ammonia. So we say it is ammoniated mixture. Now it contains hydrogen also, nitrogen also, and ammonia also. Now this mixture is cooled. Now see here, this is cooling pipe, this thing is cooling pipe. So here it is cooled, and after cooling ammonia gets cooled, and hydrogen and nitrogen remains in the gaseous form. Now this thing is liquid ammonia, and hydrogen and nitrogen is again pumped back to react with the in the presence of catalyst. Okay, now see how this process can be explained, that Haber's process, how we can explain it again. Now see, it is manufactured by reacting nitrogen and hydrogen in the presence of finely divided catalyst at temperature 700 degrees Celsius at a pressure of about 200 atmospheres. Okay, so high pressure is also required, and temperature required is not very high, but it is 700 degrees Celsius, and this is the reaction which occurs. Okay, now what are used as catalyst? Aluminium oxide, iron oxide and potassium oxide, they are used as catalyst. Okay, now it makes it more porous and provides a high surface area for the reaction. So because of the presence of these catalysts, you have done in adsorption chapter, they provide more area for adsorption. So what is going to happen? These reactants will get more area and they will adsorb more, and so there will be proper reaction and there will be formation of enough products. Okay, now this reaction is reversible. Okay, so it means all of the reactants will not be converted into ammonia, but there will be presence of some nitrogen and hydrogen also. Okay, now when we want to separate ammonia, then what is to be done? The mixture will be cooled. Ammonia will get liquefied and other substances will remain in the gaseous state only. So those substances, means nitrogen and hydrogen, which have not combined, they will be recycled again. Again they will go through the whole process and they will change into ammonia. Okay, now let us discuss the properties of ammonia. Ammonia is a colorless gas with pungent odor. So it is a colorless gas and its smell is pungent. Its freezing point is this much. Its boiling point is 239.7 Kelvin. Okay. In the solid and liquid states, it is associated through hydrogen bonds. Okay, now see, since there is nitrogen as well as hydrogen, and nitrogen is more electronegative in nature, so it can form hydrogen bonds with other molecules. Okay, this way there will be formation of, this is hydrogen bond. So what we are saying? We are saying that there is presence of hydrogen bonds in ammonia. Okay, what about the geometry? Now see, here is presence of lone pair. So because of this lone pair, this geometry is pyramidal, trigonal pyramidal geometry. Okay, now how many electron pairs are there? There are 3 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. Okay, these 3 are bond pairs and this one is lone pair. Okay, so this is the structure of ammonia. Now how it reacts with other substances? Okay, ammonia, when it reacts with air, then on reaction with air it will form nitrogen gas and water. When it will react with oxygen in excess, okay, then nitric oxide will be formed. Okay, but this is to be done in the presence of platinum catalyst. Okay, now this is the reaction of ammonia with air. Now how it reacts? Does it show reducing character also? No. So it shows a reducing character also. Just like here we have taken cupric oxide, it changes cupric oxide into copper. So what happened in this process? Cupric oxide has changed into copper. It means there is loss of oxygen from the cupric oxide. So loss of oxygen means there is reduction of CuO. So ammonia has caused this reduction. So it means ammonia is acting as a reducing agent. Okay. Now how it reacts with halogens? Now see, ammonia, when it reacts with halogens, it forms its ammonium salts. Okay. So if we take it in excess, then some halides are also formed of nitrogen. Okay, just like here, if we take chlorine in excess and then as compared to ammonia, if we take, see in these two reactions what is to be seen? Here ammonia is in excess. If we take ammonia in excess, then ammonium salts are formed and nitrogen gas is liberated. But here see, this is just 1 mole and this is 3 moles. So if chlorine is in excess, then halide or chloride of nitrogen is formed. Okay. Now coordination complex. ammonia forms coordination complexes. This one chapter is there, coordination chemistry, which we are going to discuss thoroughly. So what is a coordination compound? It is a complex in which there is a central metal atom with which a large number of coordinate bonds are formed. Now see, if ammonia is there, then ammonia can form a coordinate bond with central metal atom. Okay. Now when it forms central metal atom a coordinate bond, then such compound will be termed as coordination compound. So there will be so many coordination compounds, means so many coordinate bonds. Okay. Now see here, this type of complex or this type of complex, they are coordination compounds. Okay. So what we can say, the primary requirement of forming a coordination complex is that there should be presence of lone pair with a particular species, so that that particular group can donate a lone pair and form a coordinate bond. Okay. So since ammonia has a lone pair which it can donate properly, so it is easier for it to form a coordination compound. Okay. Now with active metals, when it reacts, then what it forms, it releases hydrogen gas. Okay. So just like with sodium, when it combines, then it forms hydrogen gas. Okay. Now a few more reactions. When we dissolve ammonia in water, then it produces hydroxide ion. So in this way, what we can say, it is showing its basic nature. Okay. Now when we react it with sodium hypochlorite is NaOCl, then there is formation of hydrogen. This NH2 dot NH2 is hydrogen. Okay. And this is also written as N2H4. So it is the formula of hydrogen. So hydrogen is formed. Now when we combine it with Nessler's reagent, sometime one mark question is asked, what is Nessler's reagent? What is Nessler's reagent? It is the alkaline solution of K2HgI4. K2HgI4 means potassium tetraiodate mercury. Okay. Now when with Nessler's reagent, when we react it, ammonia or ammonium salts, okay, whether we use ammonia or ammonium salts, then with the Nessler's reagent they will give brown precipitates. Why brown precipitates? Those brown precipitates are Millions base. They are termed as Millions base. So this is a Millions base. Okay. Now see again, what is Millions base? Here it means this is a basic molecule. Why it is basic? It is basic on the basis of Lewis concept. Okay, on the basis of Lewis concept, it is basic in nature. Okay. So there is lone pair with nitrogen which it can donate, so it will act as a base. So it is called a base. Okay. Now where do we use ammonia? Ammonia is useful in the manufacture of fertilizers. Okay. It is used for softening water. It is used for making nitric acid, and it is used in making plastics. Okay. So it is very much useful for so many things can be prepared from it. Now we come to oxides of nitrogen. First of all, those compounds which contain oxygen, okay, which are formed by the combination with oxygen, they are called oxides. So when nitrogen combines with oxygen, then it forms oxides of nitrogen. Okay. Now there are so many oxides. One of the oxide is N2O. This is called dinitrogen oxide. Another one is nitrogen monoxide NO. Another one is dinitrogen trioxide. The next one is nitrogen dioxide. Next one is nitrogen tetroxide. Next one is dinitrogen pentoxide. So What is the difference between all these? There is difference in the oxidation states of nitrogen. When we talk about N2O, oxidation state is 1, means plus 1. In NO it is plus 2, for N2O3 it is plus 3, for NO2 and N2O4. Actually this is a dimer of this, okay. N2O4 is dimer of NO2. So there is similar oxidation state and it is plus 4. In case of N2O5, oxidation state is plus 5, okay. So how can we prepare this? If we have to prepare nitric oxide, okay, this is also known as not nitric oxide, it is nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide is also known as laughing gas. When ammonium nitrate is heated, then it forms laughing gas. So formula of laughing gas is N2O, okay. So it is colorless gas, it is neutral in nature, okay. So just like you studied earlier, their oxides are of 3 types: acidic oxides, basic oxides and amphoteric oxides. So 2 more types are also there: neutral oxides and mixed oxides. So nature of this oxide is neutral, okay. Now when we have to prepare nitrogen monoxide, then sodium nitrite reacts with acidic solution of iron sulfate, okay. This results in formation of ferric sulfate and sodium hydrogen sulfate along with nitrogen monoxide, or we say it is nitric oxide, okay. This is also colorless gas and it is also neutral in nature, okay. Now N2O3 if we have to prepare, then nitric oxide and dimer of nitrogen dioxide, they are mixed, which form dinitrogen trioxide, and this is a blue solid and its nature is acidic, okay. Now when nitrogen dioxide is to be prepared, then lead nitrate is just to be heated and this will give nitrogen dioxide. This was the activity which you have done in 10th standard also. When we heat lead nitrate, there is formation of nitric oxide, nitrogen dioxide gas, and this gas is brown in color, okay, and this compound is also acidic in nature. Now as far as N2O4 is concerned, it is the dimer of nitrogen dioxide. It is also a colorless solid and it exists in liquid state also, and its nature is acidic in nature, okay. Now when we have to prepare dinitrogen pentoxide, then we have to put oxide of phosphorus P4O10. It is a dimer of P2O5 actually. So P2O5 dimer called P4O10, this is put in nitric acid and there is formation of dinitrogen pentoxide, okay. This is also a colorless solid and this is having acidic nature, okay. So these were the oxides of nitrogen. How their structures will look like, so this is very important. It is 100% sure that you will be asked some questions on the basis of structures of compounds from this chapter. So N2O, what is the structure? It is like this, okay. Now see, we have to arrange the electrons in such a way that it gives maximum stability to the structure. So if we put double bonds around nitrogen, 2 on one side, then it is like this, and if we put triple bond on one side and single bond on other side, then the molecular structure is like this, okay. So it is in the form of resonance. We can say that it shows the resonating structures, and these two are the resonating structures of N2O. Similarly for NO, N double bond O, this way or this way. One unpaired electron you can show either at oxygen or at nitrogen. So this molecule is odd electron molecule, okay. So this is odd electron molecule, and it also exists as dimer like this. NO, there is bond formation like this. Okay, this is one molecule, this is another molecule. Okay, so it also exists as dimer. Now when we talk about N2O3, then we can write it like this. Either both the double bonds may be on one side or at the opposite ends. So in these two ways we can represent N2O3. Similarly for NO2, either I can place double bond on the right side or I can place double bond on the left side. Okay. Similarly for N2O4, either I can put both the double bonds on one side or on the opposite sides. Okay, so since there may be presence of double bond at any one of the places, so we can represent like this also, where we are not representing the double or triple bonds. We are simply showing the presence of atoms and they are bonded with each other, just like here also, or here also, or in this case also. We have just shown the positions of atoms bonded with another atom. Okay, so this way also we can show this is also correct. So here also see, either they are on the opposite sides or they are on the same side. So this is planar. So these are very important structures, you have to thoroughly do it. Now on the basis of what we have studied today, you have to solve these home assignments. Okay, thank you.